Oh, would you look at the time? It seems it's hoes past mad. Readers, believe me when I say that when it comes to casting announcements, especially for adaptations of properties rooted in geek and nerd-related pop culture with pre-existing fan bases, things can either go swimmingly or drowningly. And yes, I know that drowningly isn't an actual word, but have you ever considered the fact that I don't care? Because I don't. The property in question is Sony PlayStation and Naughty Dog Studios' The Last of Us franchise, which, if you didn't know, was announced that it was picked up for series order by HBO back in March of 2020, just as the current health and safety crisis gained a good footing here in the US. I made a video about it back when it was announced regarding who my main choices for Ellie would be back when the internet seemed to be collectively settling on Caitlin Dever, with my argument against that choice being that she's too old. And then, of course, there was the want to cast Nikolaj Coster-Waldau as Joel, in which, upon discovering that choice, I collectively asked the majority of the internet why the hell they're constantly fine with mediocrity. But that's not the cast that we got for the HBO adaptation, co-written by Chernobyl's Craig Mazin and The Last of Us creator himself, Neil Druckmann, once it was announced officially on February 10th, 2021. It's actually completely different. And once you take into consideration everything that happened regarding how the announcement of Joel's casting went down, pretty revealing about how racism still plays a factor in situations like the ones that we found ourselves in. I'm of course talking about people's reception regarding the reported rumor of Mahershala Ali playing Joel versus the official announcement of Pedro Pascal playing Joel. Who boy is it? It is a trip. Now, the rumor article was released Wednesday, February 10th, somewhere around 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and predated Hollywood Reporter's exclusive announcement of Ellie's official casting by a bit over 2 hours. That announcement was the reveal that Bella Ramsey, known for her breakout role as Lyanna Mormont, the Lady of Bear Island in Game of Thrones, would be playing the clicker-immune Ellie in the series. Now, while this definitely disappointed people who rooted for Caitlin to win the part, the casting for Bella made sense. Despite being 17 years old at the time of this recording, her youthful appearance makes her seem younger, closer to 14 years old like Ellie is in the first game, which the season will be majorly based on. And while the website in question that released the Mahershala Ali bit, the Illuminati, did the responsible thing and properly labeled it as a rumor in the title and SEO metadata for the article, others followed suit with the same labeling, making sure to make it known first and foremost that this was, in fact, a rumor wherever they could specify it. But as you can imagine, that didn't stop certain people from sharing their outrage regarding the possibility of Joel being black. So, just to be clear, my stance on the matter is that if the character's race, identity, or orientation isn't tied to the character in any way, shape, or fashion, then they can be any race, identity, or orientation necessary. That's why I'm fine with Jill Valentine in the Resident Evil movie reboot being played by Black British actress Hannah John Kamen, Leon Kennedy being played by Indian-Canadian actor Avan Jogia, and Carrie-Ann Moss playing a queer gender-swapped version of Jerry Hogarth in the Netflix MCU shows. And considering that there is nothing about Joel's whiteness in The Last of Us that's prominent enough in his character in the games that requires him to stay white in the TV show, I was fine with the possibility of Joel being black if the rumors about Ali were true. But it's like I said earlier, readers, not everyone felt that way, despite every source that reported on it doing everything humanly possible to convey that this was, in fact, a rumor. I feel like I have to say that every time I have to mention it, and it makes me sad every fucking time. The Last of Us subreddit had a good chunk of comments regarding the speculation. Such as, I had a solid mental image of him being a tough bearded white dude, from a white dude using a shack pic as their avatar. Don't ask me how I know it's truly a white person using a black person as an avatar. Trust me, I know. People bringing up the tired, what if we cast a white dude as the black role question that sets off the racism red flags every time. People who say, I'd say the same thing if the character was originally black and they cast a white dude as yet another set off for racism red flags, and so on and so forth. But the ones that I want to focus on right quick are some of the comments left on the actual Illuminati article that initially reported the rumor, who just didn't even try to hide their racism in some of these comments. No, Joel is white. How would black people feel if they made black characters white? The comedy in this reply pretty much writes itself, so I'm just gonna move on to the next one. I'm sorry, but no. Joel is a white guy. Yes, granted, he's a fantastic actor, but this will ruin the series completely if they make Joel black. But you just said he's a fantastic actor, though. How can one fantastic actor be responsible for ruining the entire series? Not the showrunners, not the directors, not the writers of the bitch, but one fantastic actor.
Girl.
But my favorite one out of the bunch has to be this one that only consisted of 3 words. Total horseshit. Sources? Listen. Listen. Considering what I had to live through regarding everybody believing every pop culture website under the fucking sun talking about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's casting in the 3rd MCU Spider-Man movie without any credible sources whatsoever, I don't want to hear a goddamn thing about a confirmed rumor regarding the potential casting of a black actor playing a white character. I refuse. I refuse. I am too tired. I am the caucasity of it all. Now, I want to draw your attention to the time these comments were posted, because I screen capped these comments from the article during the early morning hours of February 12th, 2021, days after not only it was reported that Mahershala Ali turned down either the role or a role, but after it was officially announced by Deadline that Pedro Pascal of The Mandalorian and Wonder Woman 1984 officially accepted the role of Joel in HBO's The Last of Us, over 5 hours after the rumor of Ali being up for it initially dropped. Now, considering the rumor regarding Mahershala Ali and the confirmation of Pedro Pascal's casting, I was able to piece together that as far as how Druckmann and Mazin wanted to handle the series for television versus how it was handled in the video game format, they wanted to take certain aspects of it in a different direction, since it's been made incredibly obvious that they want to cast Joel as a person of color for the HBO series. As a matter of fact, Mazin actually confirmed this in an interview he had with Must Watch regarding the first season still being true to the video game, while also exploring elements with the narrative that the game didn't have a chance to do. So if one of those aspects they want to explore in the HBO series is making Joel a person of color, considering the casting rumor of Ali and the official casting of Pascal, then why all the sudden disdain for Ali when he was only rumored versus damn near nothing but praise and multiple "this is the way" posts from the same peanut gallery, when an extremely talented, yet somewhat white-passing person of color gets it? Do they really care about the actor resembling the likeness of the character? Or, even though a person of color was what the show writers were aiming for, do they just not want to see a black actor portraying the character? Make no mistake, readers, I'm extremely happy that Pascal will be playing Joel for HBO's adaptation for The Last of Us. And the fact that Neil Druckmann is transcending his own creation in order to provide a broader audience a deeper and more enriched narrative in the form of altering aspects about the original in order for it to translate to a different medium is a decision I wish others are able to make one day. But the reaction that came from this significant group of people complaining about an unconfirmed rumor regarding an actor possibly playing Joel for a TV adaptation under the guise that it might break their immersion of what they're used to seeing in the video game says a lot about how far we still need to go. Because while some might have been able to disguise their racism regarding the idea of casting Ali as Joel versus the actual casting of Pascal as Joel by saying they just wanted someone who looked like Joel does in the video games, the bait that was the rumor has already been taken by the ones that love to find new ways of saying, "I'm not racist, but." The follow-up articles reassuring fans of the games that Ali passed on the role, as if to say, "Don't worry guys, he's not playing Joel," were definitely proof of that fact. If anything, what occurred during those hours on February 10th, 2021, regarding the live-action state of a video game character that already had announced plans to be explored in a way that wasn't done so in said games, proved to be one of the greatest experiments regarding the double standards that exist when it comes to race and racism in pop culture I've seen in a while. Double that with the phrase "common sense ain't that common," a mantra that is constantly proving itself more accurate as time goes by, regarding what the writers said regarding how they wanted to handle the HBO series, and finding the best talent for the job without restricting themselves to ethnicity holding them back to do it. And the result, as you can see, will always be a select few of racists willing to play stupid games in order to win stupid prizes. Which is a shame, because The Last of Us is such a good game. But I digress, readers. Your homework assignment for the day. Write in the comment section below what you thought of the discourse of the rumor of Ali versus the actual casting of Pascal as Joel for the HBO adaptation of The Last of Us. Or if you feel like sharing with the rest of the class, an instance in which you can recall when racists found themselves showing their ass after falling for some race bait, unintentional or otherwise. If you want to help financially support the channel, you can join my Patreon by clicking the card at the end of the video or in the link in the description down below, where you can also find a link to my merchandise store. Or if you prefer to give a one-time donation, you can find links to my PayPal and my Ko-fi account in the description box as well. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday. But until then, this is Readus 101. Class dismissed.